Rand Paul, and in keeping with the political and NIH scientific dog and pony show, apparently there was a little squabble between Rand Paul and Saint Anthony. I don't know if you guys have caught it, but there's some interesting things to be pointed out in here. There's some lying going on. There's some bunch of fibbing. Both sides, though, want you to know that there is a Convids 1984 by George Orwell that's out there that's pretty dangerous. They want you to know it's transmissible.
Dr. Fauci, as you are aware, it is a crime to lie to Congress. Section 1001 of the U.S. Criminal Code.
1001 of the U.S. Criminal Code says it is a felony to lie to the mere men of Congress, which is the opposite of progress. So when the government lies to you, it's just politics. But if you lie to the government, oh, that's a felony, boy. This guy's it. This is the Title 28, Section 3002, 15A federal corporation that even Rand Paul is a part of. These are all a part of the big problem. He is part of Washington's District of Criminals. It's a crime to lie to us, but we can lie to you. Weapons of mass destruction. We're going to lead you off into the grist mills of war. We're going to take more of your money to keep you safe. We're going to start new departments like the Department of Homeland Security and the TSA, and we're going to start wasteful spending projects like the Affordable Care Act and the Patriot Act. Yeah, they can lie to us. They can swindle us. They can take away our freedoms and take away our money. But if we don't tell them the truth, it's a felony. These are all everybody that you see here in this video and beyond are a part of the problem.
Creates a felony and a 5-year penalty for lying to Congress. On your last trip to our committee on May 11th, you stated that the NIH has not ever and does not now fund gain-of-function research in the Wuhan Institute of Virology. And yet, gain-of-function research was done entirely in the Wuhan Institute by Dr.
Key in on this. Gain of function. Okay, it's when you take some organism, viral or whatever, you take some organism and you increase the danger of that organism, or you increase the transmissibility, or you increase the pathogenicity of the organism. You make it more pathogenic, more dangerous, more viral. That's what they're talking about when they're talking about gain of function. In other words, creating something in a lab that you wouldn't necessarily find in nature. That is gain of function. And that's the basis for the lie you're about to hear come from St. Anthony. Always do the sign of the cross when you're talking about St. Anthony, because he deserves all the obeisance and the humility as you approach his altar that you could possibly provide to him.
Dr. Shi, and was funded by the NIH. I'd like to ask unanimous consent to insert into the record the Wuhan virology paper entitled Discovery of a Rich Gene Pool of Bat SARS-Related Coronaviruses. Please deliver a copy of the journal article to Dr. Fauci.
Which, according to some people, not only can you not, I'm not giving, I don't have a medical degree, I'm not giving medical advice, but what I will say is there are a lot of people out there who are of the opinion that this germ theory thing where one organism can spread to another organism, through the air or touch or whatever, they say, not me, but they say it's bunk. They say that, they say that a human can't transfer to another human. They've even gone through documentation, peer-reviewed journals where they've actually tried to take cultures out of one person's nose, the back of one person's nose, and shove it down deep down another person's nose, have people cough on each other, saliva going everywhere, have people breathe real close on each other, and in 100% of the cases, they could not get that disease, whatever it was, to transmit to somebody else. If that's true, I don't know if it is because I never did the research myself. I'm just listening to two schools of thought, listening to all and believing none. But if it is true, holy cow, we got some serious lying going on. People believe in something that may not be true. Like, for example, all the way up to like 3 or 4 weeks ago, I think I've said this on a live stream before, I thought that if you broke a bone, it grew back stronger. And Trish yells from the other room, she's like, no, that's like a wives' tale. It's not even true. And I'm like, no, it's true. So I look it up I couldn't even find one article. It's like, while it is commonly thought that if you break a bone and it heals back stronger, There's no evidence to support that. All my life I thought that. You know, like old wives' fables. People say, people actually believe old superstitions like, hey, if a black cat crosses your path, go the other way. If you break a mirror, it's 7 years of bad luck. Just all this stuff that people believe in their minds because they were told from early on, and they just took it and they ran with it.
In this paper, Dr. Shi credits the NIH and lists the actual number of the grant that she was given by the NIH. In this paper, she took 2 bat coronavirus genes, spike genes, and combined them with a SARS-related backbone to create new viruses that are not found in nature. These lab...
Now, I wonder if that's even true, because my question to you, Senator Rand Paul or St. Anthony Fauci or whoever is, was it isolated? Was it purified out? Was it separated out from everything else to where the only thing that you saw in that sample, dead or alive, was that thing that you said you created? According to that guy in Wuhan, the top virologist in Wuhan, and this was played on MSLSD, he goes, we did not isolated the virus. That's how he said it.
Created viruses were then shown to replicate in humans. These experiments combine genetic information from different coronaviruses that infect animals but not humans to create novel artificial viruses able to infect human cells.
Did you hear what he just said? Able to infect human cells by what means? By transmitting from one organism to another, from one human being to another, from one animal to another? Because a lot of people, a lot of schools of thought are like, no, we resist that. There ain't no evidence. Where's your evidence to support that? They would say.
Viruses that in nature only infect animals were manipulated in the Wuhan lab to gain the function of infecting humans. This research fits the definition of the research that the NIH said was subject to the pause in 2014 to 2017, a pause in funding on gain of function. But the NIH failed to recognize this, defines it away, and it never came under any scrutiny. Dr. Richard E. Bright, a molecular biologist from Rutgers, described this research in Wuhan as the Wuhan lab used NIH funding to construct novel chimeric SARS-related coronaviruses able to infect human cells and laboratory animals. This is high-risk research that creates new potential pandemic pathogens that exist only in the lab, not in nature. This research matches, these are Dr. E. Bright's words, this research matches, indeed epitomizes, the definition of gain-of-function research, done entirely in Wuhan, for which there was supposed to be a federal pause.
I would say that's true. Like if you were going to take the NIH and the Cat Dog Cat Corporation definition of gain of function, what he just said was true. So I don't even know what St. Anthony Fauci is squabbling about here because he resists the definition of gain of function. All you have to do is go do a DuckDuckGo search on gain of function. You'll find out tons of articles and they all pretty much say the same thing. And that's what Rand Paul is saying here.
Dr. Fauci, knowing that it is a crime to lie to Congress, do you wish to retract your statement of May 11th where you claimed that the NIH never funded gain of function?
Look, they got this up here right here. Biosafety expert explains why Fauci's NIH gain of function testimony was demonstrably false. National Review. I wish we could read that right here. Wuhan lab and NIH. Shoot, I wish we could read that. I wish. Holy cow. I really want to read. I think he just now read that right there. But it's interesting that they put that big placard, that big read. I'm sure it was readable for people in the room right there. It's just this is a poor quality video. Did they not upload this in at least 720? Let's see. Nope, it's not. It's in 360. This is from the Hill. All right.
Research in Wuhan.
Senator Paul, I have never lied before the Congress.
Microphone down.
Your microphone.
Senator Paul, I have never lied before the Congress, and I.
Oh, we believe you. We believe you, Ratatouille. Fauci, the con man.
I do not retract that statement. This paper that you are referring to was judged by qualified staff up and down the chain as not being gain of function. What was?
Wait,
Let
you
me
take-
finish.
You take an animal virus and you increase its transmissibility to humans.
Right.
You're saying that's not gain of function?
Yeah, that is correct. And Senator Paul, you do not know what you are talking about, quite frankly.
Holy cow, that is the guys, that is the definition of gain of function. If you increase the transmissibility and the danger and you get and the function of that original organism is gained by tampering with it in the lab, that is even the NIH's definition of gain of function. I don't even understand what he's resisting here.
And I want to say that officially. You do not know what you are talking about.
You do not know what you are talking about.
Let's
Okay,
read
you
from the
get one
NIH
person.
Let's read from the
Madam
NIH
Chair, can I
definition of
answer the
gain of
question?
function.
Anybody who can read from the internet would know what they're talking about. You don't need a degree. You don't need to be a virologist. You don't need to go to medical school. All you got to do is know, you got to have access to a computer, an internet connection, and just ask the question, what is gain of function? And he's basically saying what Rand Paul said, reading the definition from the NIH of what gain of function is. That is false. You don't know what you're talking about.
This is your definition that you guys wrote. It says that scientific research that increases the transmissibility among mammals is gain of function. They took animal viruses that only occur in animals and they increased their transmissibility to humans. How you can say that is not gain of function?
It is not.
It's a dance, and you're dancing around this because you're trying to obscure responsibility for 4 million people dying around the world
Okay.
from a pandemic.
And let's let Dr. Fauci.
I have to,
respond.
well, now you're getting into something. If the point that you are making is that the grant that was funded as a sub-award from EcoHealth to Wuhan created SARS-CoV-2, that's where you are getting. Let me finish.
We don't know.
Well,
we don't
wait
know
a minute.
If it did
I
come
can-
from the lab, but all
You-
the evidence is pointing that it came from the lab,
You-
and there will be responsibility for those who funded the lab, including yourself.
I totally
This committee
resent,
will allow the witness to
I
respond.
totally resent the lie that you are now propagating, Senator,
I totally resent the lie that you are now propagating, Senator.
because if you look at the viruses that were used in the experiments, that were given in the annual reports, that were published in the literature, it is molecularly impossible.
No one's saying those
It-
viruses
it is-
caused it.
it
No
is
one is alleging that
molecularly-
those viruses caused the pandemic. What we're alleging is that gain of function research was going on in that lab, and NIH funded it.
That
You
is
can't
not-
get away from it. It meets your definition, and you are obfuscating the truth.
Yeah, I totally agree with Rand Paul here. I don't even understand. It's a very simple question. The definition is laid out. The question is asked. All Anthony Fauci has to do is answer it, and he is sidestepping it. He is obfuscating it because he's talking about things that Rand Paul is not asking. He's implying that Rand Paul is saying something that Rand Paul is not even saying. This is pretty interesting. Pretty interesting.
I'm not
Senator Paul,
obfuscating the truth.
Senator
You are the
Paul's
one.
time is expired, but I will allow the witness to.
Let me just finish. I want everyone to understand that if you look at those viruses, and that's judged by qualified virologists and evolutionary biologists.
Let me do this. The question is, did you, Anthony Fauci, approve funding for gain of function research at the NIH? Not what did that gain of function produce? What did they think they achieved? That's a very simple question. Simple question.
Those viruses are molecularly impossible
No one's
to
saying
result
they are. No
in
one's saying those viruses
SARS-CoV-2.
caused the pandemic.
Senator Paul,
We're saying they are gain of function viruses because they were
they're not.
animal viruses that became more transmissible in human. And
That is a scare tactic. That's not, I mean, according to some scientists, some molecular biologists, some virologists, many people in the medical community, that's not even something that can occur, or at least there's no evidence that that kind of thing occurs. So basically, by exposing Anthony Fauci's lie, and in exposing Anthony Fauci's lie, Senator Paul is promoting lies while he's exposing a lie. It's just it's a head fake. It's a it F's your head up. It's a psychological operation. It really twists things in and out. And unless you're actually listening to what it says and stay out of the cult of personality, like, who cares who Rand Paul is? Who cares who Anthony Fauci is? Who cares that they're sitting in Congress? If we've agreed that gain of function means this, and they say that this kind of research was done where they actually made a pathogen more pathogenic, and that actually fits the definition of it, then just answer the freaking question. Stop dancing around it. But then while Rand Paul is asking, I think, a fairly decent, good question, he's also adding to the nonsense, adding to the fabrication, adding to the illusion, pumping out more smoke in the smoke screen, throwing more doggies and ponies into the ring, infusing the three-ring circus with more clowns under the big top. That's what Rand Paul is doing here.
You funded it.
And you
admit the truth.
And you
Senator
implying
Paul, your time has expired, and I will allow witnesses who come before this committee to respond.
and you are implying that what we did was responsible for the deaths of individuals.
He didn't even say that.
I totally resent
could
that.
have
And
been.
if anybody
could
is
have been.
lying here, Senator, it is you.
And if anybody is lying here, Senator, it is you.